Hey everybody, Big Johnny G. Man, it's been a couple of weeks. Well, kind of skipped last week. I got to be honest, man. I gave my grass a headache. Found out a little too late. But anyway, I sprayed out Tenacity last week, and I didn't realize that I shouldn't have probably put the surfactant in it. I should have just done the blanket spray without the surfactant and then spot sprayed with the surfactant. So anyway, I give my my grass a headache, and it's starting to bounce back thanks to the products that I showed you earlier. The front yard it's coming along. But I've decided that I'm going to wait until next fall to really figure out what I'm going to do there. I may do a total renovation in the front. I am not happy with how the elevation of that yard. There's humps in it. It's the way the water drains, the way the water sits. Anyway, it's driving me nuts, and I'm not going to put a whole lot of money into it. Now, I have put Humic 12 out. I have put the bionutrients out on it. I have put a triple 10 out on it, just to try to stimulate a little bit of growth. I did overseed it, but man, it's just not doing as well as the back. The back, you can see it behind me. Isn't that pretty? Man, that grass. Now, yesterday in the back, I put out the Aerate, RGS, the Green Effect, and the Microgreen, and the Humic 12. And I watched a lot of Pete's videos, and he's always mixing the whole time he's putting all this stuff in his sprayer. Didn't realize yesterday until why. Man, that stuff gets thick as molasses, dude. But it sprays good. But I couldn't imagine trying to spray that. There's no way. I don't think you could spray it with a pump-up sprayer. You're going to have a battery tank sprayer, either backpack or a handheld sprayer, a couple-gallon sprayer. That stuff's just too thick, man. My flow zone will pump. It has two settings. It'll pump at 75 psi or 115. Now I use the 75. It seems to work out better for me. Let me show you a little something here. Calibration of your equipment is vital. Now I took a Sharpie and marked on my concrete. I really don't care. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, on my concrete, I marked off 500 square feet, put water in my sprayer, and timed myself going over that 500 square feet to make sure that I'm getting the right application for the mixture that by the directions that are on these jugs. I can't say enough how important it is to make sure your equipment is calibrated. That's one thing that you'll hear the Ginger, Pete, Alan Hayden, Lawn Care Nut, Paul, with Prime Cuts, everybody, Ryan Knorr, they're all going to tell you you have to calibrate your equipment. Spread and pray or throw and pray or however they say it, it just doesn't work, man. It might by accident, but I found at my last house that's what I was doing, and I just wasn't getting the results. I followed those guys, followed their directions, and lo and behold, man, it's working. Hey, I got something else to show you guys. Hang on, I'm gonna show you something. So when you order from Greene County Ferts, you can order from Alan Haynes' site, or you can also go to the GCI Turf Academy. Check this out, man. Look at that, Pete. Man, I got you on my toolbox. See here, throw her down. That's what I did yesterday, man. Threw out 5 bags, 1 on the front, 4 on the back of Milorganite. I just don't like how that stuff smells, man. For the first day, I mean, I know it smells like success, but here's another one. Check this out. Look who's on my TV. I don't know if you can see it. Pete's on my TV. When I'm out here working in the garage, I put him on YouTube, man. I watch these guys all the time. So I want to show you what I used on my yard. There's the aerate. I'm not going to go through what each one of these do. Pete can go through that. He does a great job describing it. You can go to Greene County Ferts, Alan Hain, Lawn Care Nut. They can tell you what they all do. The big one is the Humic 12 to me. It basically, in a nutshell, it makes the nutrients in your soil more available for the grass to feed itself. Otherwise, a lot of the nutrients in your soil is going to be locked up and not available to your grass. And the Humic 12 really helps with that. The microgreen is where you're going to get your miners. I mean, you can see on there, they're considered miners because of their micronutrients. Your NPK are your majors, and people seem to forget about that. Now, I was using a bio supplement, a bio pack that the Ginger recommended. Kind of texted back and forth or messaged back and forth with him a little bit. Let me switch this back around. So I messaged back and forth a little bit with the Ginger, and was asking him, because I heard him mention RGS on one of his YouTube videos. So I messaged him and asked him if it would be a replacement for the biopack that I was using, and he said possibly could be. And then when I did a little more, watching a few more of Pete's videos, I realized that they had the microgreen, which actually has everything in it that the biopack does that I was using, and it's cheaper. I was using the biopack with the Essentials Plus. It just doesn't go very far. It's great stuff. Listen, don't get me wrong. I mean, it made a huge impact in my yard. But if you put all these other, you mix all these other products together, the RGS, it's a root growth stimulant is what that stands for. I mean, all these things have your micros, sea kelp, the humic acid. I mean, there's just so much in there. The aerate helps loosening the soil. There's just so much that there's more than I'm not a specialist. Check out Pete or with GCI Turfs, Turf Academy, man. He's got a ton of videos on there, and he is a great teacher. This guy, even my wife said, one thing about Pete, man, he is a great teacher. Same way with the Ginger. The Ginger's a great teacher. Alan's a great teacher. These are guys, especially Pete and the Ginger. These guys own their own companies. It's either a turf care company or it's, and this is what they do for a living. And they're sharing their secrets with us to help us, the DIYer. So I'm not going to watch their videos and try to tell you what I've learned there. I would rather just say, hey, show you what I've done, what I've learned from their videos, and say, go watch them. You'll have the same results that I've had. It works. And but anyway, show you a couple of things that I use here. Another one I wanted to tell you about was the Tenacity. That's the spreader sticker or surfactant, and then you have your turf marker. The only time I use the turf marker is when I'm putting down my Tenacity. Kind of lets me know where I've been. I'm not trying to color my grass. I just want to know where I've sprayed, so I can kind of keep track, make sure I've got my right overlap, I'm not missing anything. But two things you got to remember about the Tenacity. Now, this I will tell you. One is it is a post and pre-emergent. If you're going to use it as a pre-emergent, I recommend you don't use the surfactant in it. You can. It's entirely up to you. But what I found with my lawn when I sprayed it is that if I'm going to use it as a pre-emergent, I'm not going to mix a surfactant in it so that it goes directly to the soil. It's not sticking to anything, and that way it goes in and it does its job as a pre-emergent, meaning it's going to keep the seeds from germination. Post-emergent, weeds that have already developed, I'm going to spot spray from now on with Tenacity. That's my recommendations as a DIYer. You'll just have to see what works for you, but I don't want any more grass with a headache. Now, the spreader that I use is AgriFab. Listen, it's not the quietest thing in the world, but you can load this thing up. The settings, I would not go by the settings, or I don't go by the settings on the handle. I actually calibrate this per my square footage, the poundage per square footage, and I've got things measured out pretty well now to where I know what I'm doing. And that way, because all the settings on these things can be different. And there's my Milwaukee leaf blower. That's a flow zone sprayer. It's a battery backpack sprayer. It's telling you it has 2 settings on it. It runs off an 18-volt lithium battery. It'll spray at 75 PSI or 115. I use the 75. And I've got Pete's sticker on the side. There's a big GCI. Anyway, you just have to figure out what works for you. Again, the videos that the guys that I recommend that you watch is the Pest and Lawn Ginger out of Salt Lake City, Utah. He's tremendous. I haven't seen any new videos from him lately. But if you have questions for him, I will tell you this, that he's never failed to respond to any messages that I've sent him through his links. I've never tried to contact Pete or the Lawn Care Nut, and I would say it's probably the same. Pete is a great teacher. He goes through all of his products. He has test plots. He shows you how to use equipment, the purpose behind each equipment, ratios of how to put stuff down, what to use when not to use it, why he does what he does, and he shows you the results. And he takes you out to different yards that he's doing that are customers of his, so you can see his results. Alan Hain, Lawn Care Nut, he's out of Florida. It took me a little bit to get used to Alan because, man, he talks fast, dude. I mean, this guy can talk. But the more I watch and listen to Alan, the better I like him. And wealth of information, man. He's there for me and you, the DIYer. That's what he does. That's why all these guys have their YouTube videos up there, man. I mean, they're trying to help me and you. So, and then another guy I've been watching a little bit is I watched a little bit of Ryan Noor. Ryan's pretty good. I like Ryan. And Paul with Paul Prime Cuts. Pete's out of Reidsville, North Carolina. Paul's out of Rocky Mountain. I'm not sure where Ryan lives. I haven't watched enough of his to really figure that out. But anyway, if you're in the North Carolina area, the transition zone, man, it's amazing. And there's so many products out there now. And I will say this, I'm a big Milorganite fan. Can't wait for the new products that are coming out. I'm going to try the Carbon X out this fall. I'm afraid to put it on my young grass right now, man. I don't know. I'm a little leery. I'm not going to throw anything else at the wall, but I'm going to get all this established. It's looking good. I'll shoot another one in a couple of weeks. I'm hoping to have my first mow in the back by the end of October. I should be good now with everything for at least 4 weeks, as long as we haven't had a big frost or a big freeze or anything. In about 4 weeks, I'll shoot it with all this stuff again. Probably hit it with Milorganite one more time, and then wait till the fall, and then build or wait till the spring Don't even know when I am now. Man, it's been so hot here this week, dude. I think we've set 3 or 4 records, heat records this week. 99 2 days, 97 another day, 98. It's October. Man, we're supposed to be sitting in a tree stand right now, or rabbit hunting or something. Not sweating. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the time we're supposed to be enjoying the weather, getting ready for the winter time to come in. So anyway, I'll keep you updated. Plants all look good. We're making some changes in our landscaping. I'll kind of go around and show you that when we get ready to do that. Wife's had me busy digging holes, man. I mean, this place ought to be a botanical gardens by the time we get into next spring. Anyway, this is Big Johnny G. I'm out.